we have to talk about the Wood Elf problem. So I was doing some research into Oblivion and looking at various Wood Elves. And it seems that, well, one, they're cannibals, and that's messed up. But two, this is a quick list of Bosmer in Oblivion that are just evil, pretty evil. And I found some numbers. So if we look at our total NPCs, and I only looked at 23 Bosmer, and all of them were evil. And so out of all of the NPCs I looked at, 23 out of 81 Bosmer are evil. So that's about 28% of them. I don't think there's any non-Wood Elf NPCs that are evil in Oblivion, so that puts us at about 2.69% for all the other races. That's everyone, including Bosmer. So it seems like Bosmer are evil at a rate over 10 times higher than the other races. Now let's look at, what do I mean when I say evil? Well, first, I just went to the UESP and I looked up Bosmer. And this is a list of all of the NPCs that are Wood Elves in Oblivion. And I started clicking on them and I was reading. And first, we have Cainlin. Well, he hired the Dark Brotherhood to kill his uncle Bainlin to get his money. He's a straight psycho. You probably know about Glarthir. He imagines people are following him, so he tries to kill them. The fact is, no one could see him unless they were looking at the ground. So nobody saw him anyway, but he thought they were watching him. They clearly weren't. He wasn't tall enough for them to see him. Then there's Darahil. You probably haven't heard of Darahil because she's more of a minor character compared to Glarthir, but she's sleeping with a guard captain, and she's trying to get her cousin promoted to be the new guard captain. I'm pretty sure this is implying that she wants to sleep with her cousin. Very messed up. She's a personal steward to the Countess Malona Umbernox. She's the one that is married to the Grey Fox. Lots of interesting lore there, but basically, she wants to commit incest. Pretty evil, pretty gross stuff. If you want to read about Glarthir, well, don't. You should just do the quest. Glarthir's a lot of fun. Cainlin, he's the one. He hires you to drop the Minotaur head onto his uncle Bainlin. Okay, back to our list. After Darahil, we have the Adoring Fan. He doesn't care about anyone. In fact, he doesn't even exist until you have brutally slaughtered 26 people. The moment you've killed 26 people, then he devotes his life to you because nothing is more important to him than killing. In fact, he doesn't exist until enough killing has happened to satisfy his existence. Then there's Ainvir. He's one of the three that breaks into Lel's shop. It's a Fighter's Guild quest. Not super evil, but he's a criminal. Androgil. I pulled up Androgil. Androgil is the master block trainer. Now, she's willing to train you at block, but only if you let her wail on you for 40 seconds. If you let her attack you for 40 seconds, then she'll train you. Absolutely crazy bitch. Who do we got next? Earthor. You know, I don't hate the little guy, but he's more like an idiot. He makes zombies for fun, doing crazy experiments, and then he gets trapped in his home cave. Complete idiot. Gelifor, not important. I only went to M, and then I remembered Umbra. So that's why all these are like A through G names. They're lower in the alphabet. And Gelifor is just a skooma addict. Gwyneth wanted to join the Mythic Dawn because he was so excited that they killed the Emperor. He just wanted to kill more Emperors. Hassathil and Enelroth are interesting. Enelroth is the blacksmith apprentice, and he drops random assassination orders into buckets for strangers because he thinks it's funny when people get killed. And he's bonking a married woman. Hassathil is cheating on her husband with Enelroth, and this leads the innocent civilians of Anvil to become racist as hell. And let's read about this. So, Hassathil is married to Heinrich Oakenhole, who is a seaman. He goes out, he's a sailor. He leaves for 9 months at a time. He's only in town for 3 months, so her life is not very easy, just being a farmer living in Anvil. However, she starts sleeping with Enelroth to cheat on her husband. And when other people talk about him, you know, they say, Heinrich Oakenhole is married to a Bosmer? I suppose the women are less annoying than the men. That is honestly true. And she says, the shipmaster, Heinrich Oakenhole, has a wood elf for a wife. I'd rather sleep with my horse. You know, the people of Anvil didn't want to be racist, but she forced them. Others will reply, you don't see a lot of human Bosmer marriages. I don't know if it's even legal in Cyrodiil. It's not, obviously. I don't know what would possess him to do that. Marrying a Bosmer is just wrong. You know what? Even if it wasn't illegal, it's just wrong. These people know. These are the good people of Cyrodiil, and she is forcing them to be racist. All right, back to our list. Next we have Hundelin, well, he's the guy who stands in front of the arena and he just promotes gambling and fighting to the death. Not a good guy. Umbra, she killed a bunch of people and then she fell in love with her sword or it stole her soul. I don't really know. Who cares about that lore? Then we got a bunch of people who worship Daedra. There's more than them. I didn't even get them all. There's a whole bunch that worship Sanguine. I just, like I said, I was getting later in the alphabet and I was getting tired and it's like midnight, so I just felt like not doing it anymore. Then we got 4 people. These are the thieves who attack strangers. They just hang out in Harada Cave. They literally live in a cave, attack people, and eat them. And these, by the way, are the minor assholes. The next 2 are the big ones. Here. You'll see them up here. You'll see them up here. We have Maglir and Gayor. We'll start with Gayor. Gayor's in Morrowind. He's not even in Oblivion, but he gets a special mention because he's so evil. He accosts you for gold and then tries to kill you even if you pay him. This little guy is the luckiest man on earth, and he still tries to murder people. If you read about him, he has 255 base luck, and he fortifies his luck 500. If you've ever played Morrowind, luck is an incredibly overpowered stat. This makes him a very, 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 very powerful opponent. One of the strongest fights in the game. If you think, well, I don't really want to fight him. Well, first, he walks up to you and says, hey, I'm a little bit down on my luck, which is not something I'm used to. Because, you know, he's the luckiest guy on earth. Can I have 50 gold? It'd really help me out. If you pay him, he then asks you for 100 gold. If you pay him again, he then asks you for 1,000, 10,000, and 1,000,000. If you agree to pay him the 1,000,000 gold, he says, do you really think I'm that stupid? No one walks around with 1,000,000 gold on them. That's ludicrous. And you know why he thinks this? Because he's short. If he was tall, he would know that some people have 1,000,000 gold. I won't stand for this kind of patronizing. I will not be mocked. You'll see, PC name. You'll all see. And, yeah, you know, he's got a chip on his shoulder because, well, his shoulder's just not very high off the ground. There's another path. You can give him an ebony short sword, and then he goes straight to the, he asks for a full Daedric armor and does the same thing. If you try to give him Daedric armor, he says that's impossible, just like the 1,000,000 gold. Later, he shows up, oops, well, now you know it's coming up next, decked out in his armor, ready for a fight, and he tries to kill you. So he's a jerk, not a fan, terrible guy. I think he just wants to murder people. He doesn't even care about the gold. After Gayor, we have the worst NPC, the most evil, the most despicable NPC in all of Oblivion. Maglir, this little guy. Now, you might think, oh, but he's got a family. He's not doing these quests because, well, because he's scared. You know, he doesn't want to die, right? You know, this unfinished business, which is just go get a journal, you have to fight. Well, here, I'll show you. You have to fight undead, mud crabs, and rats. He refuses to do any of the quests where you have to kill non-humans. If he has to go on a quest where he's got to kill undead or mud crabs, he's not doing it. The only one he agrees to go on is when you're going to the Den of Thieves. He is willing to go kill a gang of Bosmer thieves because, well, he wants to eat them. That's why he wants to kill people. He's okay with killing people. And instead of refusing the quests, he just accepts it, and then he goes to an inn to drink and forgets about it. So after accepting quests but not doing them repeatedly, he leaves the guild and then joins a different faction, which, you know what? Fair enough. Leave a guild if you don't want to be in it. That's better than pretending to accept the quest. However, he only chose this faction because, well, the lizard people, which are much better than Bosmer, but, I mean, they're different than us, that's for sure. He picks this faction because they use drugs and they kill people. They don't kill undead or mud crabs or trolls. They just kill people. So he's thinking, I can use drugs and kill people. This is the perfect faction for me. I love this faction. After the player destroys this faction, because you know you're a good person and you're doing what's right, even if you're playing a Bosmer, you're at least role playing as someone else. After the player destroys this faction, he attacks you. He attacks you. The guy who just soloed the entire leadership of an entire faction, he attacks you. It's because he's not a coward. He's not worried about his family. He's willing to die to get vengeance on you because you stopped him from doing drugs and killing innocent people and probably eating them. He's not a coward at all. He is simply just a psychopath. Maglir is the most evil NPC that has ever existed. All right. I think that's all I got. Thanks for watching. Don't be a wood elf.